fantasy move for a 5-0 team right
That's
there.
right. I'm staying on top of it.
God, I hope Ray didn't win. Adam Thielen's had a great year.
Put it here this time, hopefully. We tried to do it last time.
Now recording on my phone.
Sal commented on our Instagram post.
Do this to yourself.
But it's off the tracks. You know how it goes. It's gonna be a fun one tonight.
Off the tracks. Jet. Rafe. We're back. A bit of a time crunch here, actually. Oh boy, NBA Finals. Game 5 starts, or Game 6 rather. Game 5 rather. Sorry, starts in about an hour. Doing something we haven't done in a while.
A long time. Long time.
We're talking about some baseball today, because it's. I mean, it can't be put off any longer. Our team
No.
bit of the NBA Finals, so obviously, focus hasn't been there. The Reds are struggling, but starting to come on the up and up a little bit. But some big news yesterday, some interesting news this morning. We're gonna get into it today. Rafe, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Nervous for reasons as we've stated, but we're gonna put those to the side for now. I'm excited to talk some baseball. Like you said, it's been a while.
The Giants, they've acquired a 3-time All-Star Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox in what some are calling a stunning move. Reason I think it's so stunning is the return wasn't all that great. Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, outfield prospect James Tibbs, who is an okay hitter, and then Jose Bello, who's in rookie ball, who actually does have some decent numbers, but you'd assume a 20-year-old in rookie ball, pretty long ways away from being in the bigs. Rafe, it's just about 24 hours removed. Where's your head at with this?
There's a lot to this because this Rafi Devers thing has been going on really since before the season started. The Red Sox signed Bregman, and there was all the commotion about whether Devers would move or was willing to move positions or be a DH or anything like that, and really just been rocky from the start. So, and there was times where it felt like he was going to get traded. There was times where they're like, no, we're going to stick. So shocking because of kind of the return and kind of how it was out of nowhere, but also kind of felt like this was going to happen, even though the Red Sox, it felt like they were starting to figure things out a little bit, just swept the Yankees. Devers has been playing well this year. Just surprising in that sense, maybe not so much that it happened, but yeah.
And for me, this, like you said, this was surprising because of the return. It wasn't a good return. This was not surprising because the trade was made. Listen, and this is actually from Pete Abe, who has Red Sox sources. He said, quote, in a Twitter post, the team's feeling was that a $313.5 million contract comes with responsibilities to do what is right for the team, and the Devers did not live up to those responsibilities. They had enough, and they traded him. Listen, anyone that has watched sports could have called this trade from a mile away. There was I remember the report about a little over a month ago, that Devers being traded was not out of the water. And that kind of got swept under the rug a little bit because, of course, it's May and it's just a rumor. But this all started for me when he said, I'm not playing first base. That's when it started. Because if you are going to be what's supposed to be one of the highest paid players in Major League Baseball, you're going to be the cornerstone, the face of one of the most storied franchises, the most historic franchises in all of sports. You're going to be the guy. You have to be the guy. You just do. And whatever it takes, if you have to move to first base due to an injury and play 100 games at first base, you have to do that. That is non-negotiable. You've got to do that. You're not a third baseman. I'm sorry. The defensive numbers aren't there. You're not good enough defensively to come out and say, I'm a third baseman. I'm not moving to first to play a little over half a season to help my team win a couple more games than they would have otherwise. And if you just want to be and stick and be a DH, okay, well then fine. Someone else can pay your $313 million contract and we're going to move on. Now, with that being said, felt like the Red Sox sold themselves a little short here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I saw somebody kind of compare this to the Luka trade. I don't think it's that extreme necessarily, but it does feel like where, you know, maybe they could have shopped around a little bit more, got a better return. Like I said, it felt like out of nowhere. So in a sense, I guess you could draw comparisons there. But I mean, he's hitting 272 this year, 15 home runs. The bat's still there. The Giants, obviously, who are playing better than I think a lot of people expected. They're in a good spot already this year. Get a lot better with this. Now there's questions, you know, with position with Devers there now, and we'll see how that goes or if there's any kind of noise about that there. But yeah, it's very weird that Devers took this stance after they signed Bregman. You know, I get he's been there a while. He's a franchise guy. And maybe he felt like it was a little disrespectful for them to ask him instead of somebody else. But at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like the number one priority for any athlete should be winning. And if this was what needed to be done in the best interest of the team and the best interest of winning, you know, I mean, easier for me to say sitting here in my house to just take it and do that. But I don't know. It did feel very weird that he took that stance. You know, it wasn't like they were asking him to take less at bats or to, you know, sit the bench for a little bit or anything like that. It was just, you know, moving positions, which can be a big deal in baseball, sure. Maybe upset some rhythm, maybe for some guys, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, strange stance that he took.
And it was strange because the Red Sox had done a lot in the offseason. You mentioned Alex Bregman. They brought him in. They brought in Garrett Crochet, who has blossomed into a top 5 minimum, probably, pitcher in all of baseball. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're 6.5 back of first place. They just swept the first place team of the New York Yankees. You're feeling good about where you're at. That's maybe why the trade was so surprising. Again, you got fleeced, but also it felt like this is totally still anyone's game in the AL East. I mean, the Orioles, who kind of feels like maybe they've got a chance to turn it up at some point. They're 12 games back in last place. Everyone else is in it, whether that be the wild card, whether that be winning the division. So to see this trade kind of come now, to me, that tells me that that's how bad it was in the locker room. Because I guarantee you when he came out and said, I'm not playing first base, I guarantee you that rubbed probably everyone in the locker room the wrong way. Because your star player, your franchise guy, supposed to be the leader in the dugout. He's been there for 8 years. Won a World Series with this team. He's supposed to be the glue. He's supposed to be the guy. And to me, when you have a guy come out and say something like that, I guarantee you that did not sit well in the locker room. And I do believe this, and maybe this is a bold prediction. The Red Sox are 37-36 right now. I think they're going to be better without him. I think they're going to be better without Rafael Devers, because if it was this bad to where you're trading him at this point in the time when things are just starting to turn around for a really bad return, that means that Rafael Devers was doing something really bad behind closed doors that was really bringing this team's morale down.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how Bregman felt after all this happened. You know, they bring him in, and you know, there may be a sense of, is this my fault now? You know, is this all my fault? And this team's, you know, maybe he's not thinking that, and this is all speculation, of course. You know, and then they bring these young guys up this year, and you know, maybe it's not a great locker room environment for those guys, and you know, their success, I think, will determine a lot of where this Red Sox team goes this year. So, you know, maybe tensions in the locker room probably isn't great for rookies to experience, in their first year. So yeah, again, as we've said, it's not crazy that they traded Devers, but the timing of it, the return of it is all, kind of feeding into this. Wow, I can't believe this just happened.
And you keep bringing up Bregman, and I think it's important because when you brought Bregman over, that was your clear third baseman. No decision, no second guesses. That's your third baseman for the foreseeable future, for at least the rest of his contract. And the way he's playing this year, I mean, this is he's having a really good year.
Yeah.
He struggled last season, but he's got a 938 OPS. He's had 11 home runs this season. He's hitting just under 300. I mean, this is really the best season he's had since 2019 when he came second in MVP voting. So, yeah, if you're Rafael Devers, swallow your pride a little bit. Go play on the other side of the diamond. Go play first base. You're still gonna get your 4 at bats in a game. I promise. And so that's what sat with me. That's what stuck with me a lot. And the moment that happened, I knew a trade was. I just knew a trade was coming. Um, didn't know when it would be. I didn't know where it would be, but I just knew that was the first domino to fall, and it was going to be a bitter end. And I was even reading today that Devers is really happy about the trade, and he's happy about the opportunity of going out to San Francisco. So I think this was just kind of a deal where both sides were not seeing eye to eye on each other's roles and where they should be. Um, so I mean, I think both sides are going to benefit greatly from this because, like you said, the Giants are in a really good spot right now. We keep talking about the Red Sox, and I do think the Red Sox are going to only benefit from this. The Giants are really going to benefit from this if you're willing to slot him. I don't believe that any of the salary is going to be paid. I think this is all going to be the Giants, um, which is probably another big reason that the return wasn't as great. Um, but the Giants are looking really up now once you plug Devers into this lineup.
Yeah, and one last thing on the Red Sox too here is, they're completely off that contract as you said. Now they have an opportunity to go and make another move here before the deadline, depending on where they're at. If they're able to stay hot, they feel like they've got a real chance here to make a run. Who knows what they're able to do now at the deadline to bring in a guy who maybe is making a lot of money or a bigger name that could be on the block. But yeah, as far as the Giants go, I mean, feels like a no-brainer, if you get this deal on the table. Not sure who, initiated the calls, but you absolutely make this move. Maybe there's questions about, especially with, I believe Matt Chapman's hurt right now, but we'll see whenever he comes back. He's obviously a third baseman. So maybe some trepidation over how Devers will feel about where he has to play. And maybe, again, that could have also played into the price of what they had to pay for Devers. But I think it's a real good move for San Francisco. As you said, for Devers, felt like he didn't really want to be there anymore. Boston gets to move on, maybe gets to use this space now to make another move and help them out and win. So yeah, wins all around, really, I feel like. But yeah, crazy trade still.
It totally allows for Devers to go out here and be the DH because he's not going to play first. I can't imagine you're going to sacrifice Matt Chapman, who's having a really good year. He leads the Giants in home runs, on base percentage. I can't imagine that you're going to slide him to the DH position. There's just no way that happens. So I guess that Devers gets to be the DH. He gets to make his money, and Matt Chapman gets to stay at third base. The Red Sox get to move on. But interesting enough about this, Giants Red Sox play this weekend
How about that?
in San Francisco. So we're definitely going to have our eyes on that. Maybe tickets have gone up on that a little bit.
Potentially.
It'd be interesting.
Hopefully
It'll
one of
be
those games is on
interesting.
TV. We got to get one of those games on TV.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't look like they are right now. I'm just looking at it, but surely an adjustment can be made, and you can get one of this Friday night game on there. It's just listen, we've been pretty harsh on ESPN and their broadcast of the NBA, but I don't think we're hard enough on how poorly they've handled baseball. Do they even still have the rights? But I
I
know they
believe
lost
so.
them.
I think they have them for the
Um,
rest of this year, but I mean, baseball is a forgotten sport for ESPN. It's been like that for however many years now. So yeah, we could go on and on about the coverage of baseball on ESPN. Maybe some other
it's a
networks
shame.
too, but yeah, just
Yeah.
not a lot of love for baseball, unfortunately.
It's a shame because the numbers are going up, the viewership's going up, everything is good. Like baseball is really thriving right now, and it's just a shame. But also a shame. I don't know if you've got an eye.
I've seen them.
Oh my
I've seen them.
goodness. Well, listen, you and I both we love hats,
Big
collecting
hat guy.
hats.
Yeah.
We have very nice hat collections. I would say. I would say.
Yeah.
Um, one time of and we have literally from the beginning of Off the Tracks have done uniform reviews. Like we love uniforms,
Oh
love
yeah.
looking at them, love digesting them.
Oh yeah.
So the All-Star game for all sports, but especially baseball for me, I always look forward to it every year. It is something that I am consistently excited for to see what the All-Star game hats look like, see what the uniforms look like. Uniforms not as much as the hats, especially now, I guess that they're going to be wearing their regular
Oh,
uniforms on field
thankfully.
during the
Yes.
which sure.
Great
I
move.
still I agree, but I do like that they're still doing All-Star game
Of
uniforms,
course.
uh, just because it's
Home
cool to
run
see. Like
derby,
it's good,
batting practice. Yeah.
right?
Use them for
Right.
that. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool to see. I love going to Cincinnati and seeing the Joey Votto like Diamondback one from
Right.
like 2010, and
Right. Classic.
so there have been some good ones. This year's unbelievably bad. I mean, I am so disappointed. I saw it. I literally saw it, and my app refreshed pretty quick. Like when I opened it and I saw it, my app refreshed quick, and I was like, unless those were fake, and it just wasn't. And I mean, I'm utterly disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I see what they were going for. The games in Atlanta look like they were, trying to play off of that bubble A that Atlanta has with the lettering. But yeah, they felt a little goofy, which, I don't know. I don't think that's the vibe you really want for an all-star jersey. But that was kind of the vibe I got was a little goofy. And yeah, but thankfully, as you said, they're not wearing them during the game. I think you can go a little crazy with the all-star jerseys, especially if you're not wearing them in the game and it's just for, home run derby, batting practice, things like that. But it's not even it's they didn't even go crazy with it either. Like
No,
there's just nothing on it. It's just the letters and that's really it. Two color jerseys, it's have some fun with it at least.
right.
If it's going to be
Es-
bad, make it crazy bad, like not this.
Especially considering that the All-Star game, maybe people forget, 2021, it was supposed to be in Atlanta, and then it was taken away and it was moved to Colorado for reasons.
Hmm.
Um, so you've had 4 years to prepare for this. You've had 4 years to sit at the office desk and think up a really good idea to redeem yourself and make people think, man, I'm glad the All-Star games in Atlanta, they really shouldn't have taken it away from them. And this is what you come up with. I am completely and I am utterly disappointed by this. Um, I mean, like I said, I look forward to this every year, and this has just absolutely let me down
Maybe they thought they had jerseys already made originally, but they didn't and they forgot. And then this
at the
is,
last second.
yeah, they had to just, oh, we need
I
jerseys.
mean, that's legitimately what it looks like. It looked like it was made this morning.
Yeah.
It looked like it was made this morning at about 15 minutes in Canva.
Yeah, it does.
Yeesh. Bit of a quicker episode today. We are going to get into a little bit more baseball, but on a bit of a time crunch today. Still wanted to get some content out. Dare I say it, trying to upload every
Oh no, the devil's kiss.
trying our best here. No, we've been getting after it. So, but posting on socials more, on X, TikTok, Instagram. Be sure to follow us there. We're gonna get some more baseball content rolling out for you We've got a lot of really good ideas, and I'm ready to see them kind of get into action here a little bit, and we're pretty excited for you guys to see um, what we've got going. Rafe, anything else?
I think that's it. Try not to throw up here as we get closer to game
Boy.
time. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm pumped.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be an OTT summer.
That's what they're saying. That's
And
what the streets are saying. That's what they're saying.
personally, I can't wait. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's Off the Tracks. Peace.